Hello, this is Dr. Morales, and today we're going over lesson 10-4, Decompose polygons into triangles and rectangles. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to find the area of polygons. So let's get started. Make sure you have your packet with you so you can complete it as I do this problem. Okay, so on your packet 617, we did this one in class and we went over it, but we'll do it again for those of you who are absent. So here we have this problem that says Gabrielle wants to cover the floors of a room and a hallway. So the room and a hallway in her dollhouse. She measured the room and hallway and sketched the floor plan below. So here's the floor plan over here. Okay, so please circle it. How much felt does Gabrielle need? Now remember, area is the amount of square units inside the figure. So in order for her to cover this room and this hallway, she needs material. So the area will give me how much felt, that's the material she's going to use, she needs to cover it. So here, this polygon, we don't have a formula for this particular polygon, but we can break this polygon into two rectangles. So I can cut it here. I can draw a line here, do it in your packet, a line here, and now have a rectangle at the bottom, and I have this little rectangle on the top. And in order for me to find the total area, I'll have to find this area. I need the area of this rectangle, so I'm going to call this area 1, and I need this area, so this will be area 2. And then once I have those two areas, I'm going to add them together. It's going to give me the total area. So let's get started. So remember, those two shapes are rectangles. So to find the area 1, I'm going to write area 1 is equal to, remember this is a rectangle, so it's going to be length times width. So I need the length times the width. And now I need area 1, I'm going to put a 1, is equal to, how much is the length? So the length will be from here to here, whatever this is, from here to here. And from here to here is, it's not 15, because 15 is from here to here. So it's not 15, it's going to be 15 plus this little bit over here. And this little bit is the same as this over here, 5 inches. So be 15 and 5 more is 20. So this is 20 times 10. This is 20, so I'm going to put 20 here. So this is 20 times 10. And 20 times 10, the area of my first rectangle, that's what the 1 means, the first rectangle, is equal to 20 times 10. And 20 times 10 is 200. 20 times 10 is 200. Okay, so now we need the rectangle on the top. So look at the rectangle on the top, and let's find the length and the width. So I know that the top part over there, on the top part I have a 5, and now I need, so this is 5, so now I need from here to here. And from here to here, I don't know, but I know from here all the way to the bottom is 22. So, but this whole thing is 22, but from here to here, I'll have to cut this distance, which is 10 units. See this 10 units? So 10 units plus this distance will give me a total of 22. So 22 minus 10, that gives me 12. So now this distance in 12 is 12. Why 12? Because 12 plus 10 gives me the 22. So now rectangle 2 is equal to length times width. Don't forget to always write the formula. So rectangle 2 is equal to 12 times 5. Remember, the width is 5, that little 5 on the top. And now area number 2 is 12 times 5, and 12 times 5 is 60. So this is 60 units. What units is this? Oh, inches. So it's gonna be square inches. We're gonna put inches to the second power, and the same thing here with the 200 inches to the second power. So now, in order for me to find the total, so you're going to write total distance. So your total distance is equal to, or the total area, sorry, this is total area, is going to be 200 plus 60, which is give you 260 square inches. 260 square inches. Okay, so that's how you write it, inches to the second power. Okay, so let's look at the bottom part of page 617. Okay, thinking and reasoning. Show another way to find the area of the sketch. Okay, so there's more than one way. We did it this way by cutting it here, but I can do another way. So instead of cutting it here, I can cut it straight down. And remember, what we want to do is have the least amount of rectangles. So I still have 2 rectangles, so it's still going to be finding the area of rectangle 1. I'm going to put a 1 here, and a rectangle 2, and then add them together. So let's do rectangle 1. So it's going to be area of 1 equals length times width. So I always write the formula, because what that does is helps you memorize it. So area of 1 is equal, the length in this case is going to be 22 times the width is 5 inches. And now if I get my calculator, area of 1, 22 times 5, let me put that on the calculator quick, 22 times 5 gives you 110. So this is 110 inches square. Now I'm going to do area number 2. I'm going to do it over here. Area of the second rectangle is length times width. And now area of the second rectangle is going to be, okay, the length is this one, so it's 15. And the width is going to be 10. 15 times 10. And when I multiply that, I get that area of the second rectangle is 150. And now to find, oh, inches square, don't forget the units. To find the total area, remember we're looking for the total area. I have to add 150 plus 110. And when I add 150 plus 110, I get 260, which makes sense because it has to be the same amount. The area didn't change. What changed is the way we cut or decompose, that's the actual word, this polygon into 2 rectangles. All right, let's go to the next page. Now on the next page we have example 1. And in example 1 we have this picture. Okay, and this picture is a patio. This patio is in the backyard of this house. Denise is building this patio in the backyard, and then she needs to know the area before she orders the tiles. Okay, so what is the area of the patio? Okay, so here's your picture, and you see they already cut it for you. So you have this over here, you have this inside is a rectangle, you see the rectangle in there, and then you have on the sides you have triangles. How many? You have 2. So in order for us to find the total area, we're going to find the area of this rectangle, the area of this triangle, so I'm going to put a number 2, the area of this other triangle, I'm going to put a number 3, and then add them together. All right, so we are going to do rectangle. The first one is a rectangle, so I'm going to put area 1, and the formula for rectangle is length times width. Now I'm going to put the numbers in. Area of 1 is, length is going to be this one from here to here is 6 units, and the width is this 4 over here, so 6 times 4. So the area area of the first shape, which is a rectangle, is 24 meters square. Okay, so meters square. Okay, so now let's look at this triangle. Okay, so remember, a triangle is a three-sided figure, so the formula for the area of a triangle is going to be different from the rectangle. Okay, so don't make the mistake of using the same formula. So in class we talked about the area of a triangle, so I'm going to put area of 2. The area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So you always do that. Every time you see a triangle, it's going to be base times height divided by 2. So in this triangle, so I'm going to put area 2. We're going to find the base. And the base, I know the triangle is sideways, but if I was to turn this triangle, it would look like this. If I turn it, it will be like that with this line in between, with this little box. This little box is a right angle, so this little box is needed to show you which is the height, okay? So your base will be this bottom part, which will be from here to here, and we already know from the rectangle that that is 6 meters. And then the height is this line inside that makes the right angle, which is this line over here, which is 2 meters. So the height is 2. So you see, I just drew the triangle and I turned it, it was sideways, so I turn it so you can see the base and the height. So now the base is 6 times the height is 2, and then I'm going to divide by 2. Okay, so the area number 2 is going to be 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 divided by 2, oops, I did it wrong, 12 divided by 2 is going to be 6. So this is 2, and that equals to 6 meters square. Okay, good. So I have my area number 2, I have my area number 1. So I'm gonna put in a box. This is area number 1, this is area number 2, and I have to do one more, which is this triangle. And once again, if I was to turn this triangle, it will look exactly as the one before, with a base of 6 and the height of 2. So it's the same exact number, so I already know that the area is also going to be 6 square meters. So I'm just going to put area number 3 equals 6 square meters, because I already did the work and I don't have to do it twice, but I'm writing it so I know that this is area 1, this is area 2, and this is area 3. So now total area, we're going to add it together. So the total area, we add together 24 plus 6, plus 6. Okay, so 24 plus 6 is going to give you an answer of 36, which is down here. You see, they did it for you, and you see how they did each triangle, and then they did the rectangle. Okay, so the answer will be 36 square meters. There's another way to do this. What they did, they cut it in pieces. I'm not gonna go over this because I don't want you to do it that way. I want you to do it the simpler way, which is just looking at the shapes, and for the most part you're going to have rectangles and triangles. All right, and this is another way, okay, another way to do the patio. So we're going to skip that, and we're going to go now to the next page, which is page 619, and we're going to look at example number 2. So make sure everybody's on that page. Example number 2 said the Robinsons are planning to resurface the path that surrounds their garden. And what is the area of the path? So here's your picture, okay, and they want you to find the area that surrounds the garden. So the garden is this green area inside, and they want this path, this brown area. Okay, so on the example they're showing you. So first, before we look at what they did, we're gonna look at the shapes that we have. So we have a big rectangle, which is this one, and then we have a little rectangle, which is the actual garden. Okay, so we need to find only the area that is brown, only this area. So in order to do this, you need to think about if you don't want the green part, you're gonna take that away because you don't want it. So you're gonna subtract it. So you're gonna find the area of the big rectangle, and then the area of the little rectangle, and then you're gonna subtract them together because you don't want that green area, the green part, you don't want it. So here's the area of the big rectangle. So remember, it's length times width. The length is 8, that's this 8 over here, and the width is 7.5, which is this one here on the top, and then that gives you 58 meters square. Now we're going to do the little rectangle. So the little rectangle, the green part, is length times width. The length is 4.5. So over here, the width is 3, and that gives you 13.5. Now to find the total area of only the shaded, not the shaded, the brown area, which is the path, you have to take away the garden from the big rectangle. So that's what we're subtracting instead of adding. So when you subtract, you get 44.5. So the path is 44.5 meters square. Okay. Example 3. Now, what if we have this in the coordinate plane and there's no numbers, okay? So if we have it in the coordinate plane and there's no numbers, we're going to count. We're going to count the boxes. So they're giving you this figure. So let's read it. It says the floor plan for a new stage at school is sketched on the coordinate plane. A flooring expert recommends bamboo flooring for the stage floor. How much bamboo flooring is in square meters does the school need? Okay, so we're going to decompose the polygon. So you see how they decompose it for you. So they drew a line down here. Always follow the lines when they give you on the coordinate plane. So follow the line. So now you have a big rectangle at the bottom. I'm going to put a number 1 here. Then they drew a line down here, and now you have another rectangle here. I'm going to put number 2, and then this one over here, number 3, is a triangle. So now, once you have that, now you can do the work. So we're going to start with the bottom part, and we're going to do the formula for the area of a rectangle, which is length times width. And they don't give you numbers, so you're going to have to put numbers here because it's an example. They put the numbers for you, but when you look at the bottom at the try, there's no numbers. So we are going to count. So when we count from here to here is 11 units. So if you count the boxes, you should have 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, and 11. That's how they get the 11 meters because each box represents a meter, and it's over here. Each square represents 1 meter, 1 square meter. And here, from here to here is 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this rectangle is 11 by 5, and they did it over here. 11 by 5 gives you 55. All right, let's look at this little one. So we're going to count, and we're going to count from here to here is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the 4 that they wrote here. And then from here to here only, from here to here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 4 by 6, which is over here. 4 by 6 is 24. So now they have those two. All right, the last one is this triangle. And we're going to need, remember the formula for a triangle is base times height divided by 2, or another way to write it is 1/2 base times height, which is the same thing. So now we need the base. The base is going to be from here to here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5. So the base is 5, and the height is this line that goes straight down. So which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So here they did 1/2 base times height. The base is 5. The height is 4. And then divided by 2, so that will be 5 times 4 is 20, and 20 divided by 2 is 10. So that's how they get this answer. So now to find the total area, you will have to add them together, and you get 89 square meters. So therefore the school will need 89 square meters of flooring. All right, let's look at the try it. Find the area of the shaded region in square units. Okay, in this one, so we're going to talk about a new shape, which is called a parallelogram. So parallelogram, and the parallelogram, to find the area of a parallelogram, you are going to do base times height. Okay, base times height. So here they want only the shaded part, so only the blue part. So just like we did the one on the top where we didn't want the garden, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find the area of the big parallelogram, that's the one outside. Then you're going to find the area of the small parallelogram inside, and then you're going to subtract them together. That's going to give you the blue part. So let's do that. So I'm going to call the big one parallelogram number 1, and then the little one parallelogram number 2. Okay, so this will be parallelogram number 1, and remember the formula is base times height. Every time you see a parallelogram like that, it's going to be base times height. So area of the first parallelogram is equal to the base. The base will be from here to here. So let's count how many boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 times the height will be from top to bottom, never slanted. You're from the top, from here to here. So how many boxes make up this parallelogram? 1, I'm gonna go this way, 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So the height is 4. So 5 times 4. So the area of the big parallelogram is 20. And this is going to be units, because I don't know what units, so I'm just going to write units square. So I'm going to put a little square on the top. Now I'm going to do the little parallelogram, which is the area of the second parallelogram. It's still going to be the same formula, base times height. And now I need my numbers, so I got to go in the picture and count. So from here to here is 2 boxes. So it's going to be 2 times, now the height from the top to the bottom is also 2 boxes. So 2 times 2 is 4. So the area of the second parallelogram is 4 units square. But now they only want the area of the shaded, the blue area. So I'm going to subtract that inside parallelogram. So the big one, which is 20, minus the little one, which is 4, 20 minus 4, that gives you an answer of 16 units square. That will be the answer for this one. Okay, all right, let's go to the next page. Okay, so here's your key concept. This is just a summary of what we just did. Now we're going to look at number 4. Number 4 and number 5, we're going to do those together. So number 4, it says in 4 and 5, find the needed missing dimensions, then find the area. So we're going to find the dimensions or the numbers that are missing. So I'm going to be looking for this over here, and then I am going to find the area of each polygon. All right, so I need to find the area of each polygon. So I am going to cut it. Remember I said we can cut it. I can cut it this way over here, or I can cut it this way over here. So I am going to cut it this way right here. I'm gonna cut it here like that. Oops, I'm supposed to do a straight line. There we go. So I'm gonna cut it like that, and now I have rectangle number 1 and rectangle number 2. Okay, so in rectangle number 1 I have everything I need. I need the length and the width, so I have those numbers. So I'm gonna do that first. So area number 1 is equal to length times width. So area number 1 is equal to, the length will be 20 and the width will be 6.5, and you can change 6.5 to a decimal by doing 1 divided by 2. 1 divided by 2 gives you 0.5, so 6.5 is 6.5. 6.5. Okay, that's going to give you the area of the big rectangle, or rectangle number 1. So let's multiply that. So 6.5 or 6.5 times 20. So that area is 130. So area of 1 equals 130 inches square. So I'm gonna put inches square. Okay, so now I need my number 2, which is the little rectangle. So it's still going to be a rectangle, so it's still going to be the same formula. So area equals length times width. Now I need numbers. I have 8, so 8 is working, so I can put the area equal, area of the second rectangle is 8 times, now I need this part over here. This part over here. So I actually don't need the bottom one, because the way I cut it, I don't need the bottom one. But I do need this little piece. And it's not 10 and a half. 10 and a half is everything. But remember how I cut it? The 10 and a half was cut through here. So this much over here is the same as this much over here. So that means that I cut 6 and a half out of the 10 and a half. So 10 and a half, in order to find this much, remember, if it was 10 and a half and you cut 6 and a half, how much you have left? You are going to subtract. So 10 and a half is the same as 10.5 minus 6.5 will give you 4. So this little piece over here is 4. Why is it 4? Because 4 plus 6 and a half gives you 10 and a half. So now this is 4. And now the area number 2 is going to be 8 times 4, and 8 times 4 is 32 inches square. So now the total area, okay, so I'm going to put T for total, A for area, is going to be equal to 130 plus, because I want everything together, 32, and that will give you 162 inches square. Okay, let's look at question 5. A polygon with vertices. Vertices is the corners of the polygon, like the little corners. And they give you the coordinates, the points. Okay, so you have to graph those vertices, or those points on the graph, and then you have to find the area. So let's graph first. So we have 6, 2. So we start at 0. Remember, 6 is positive, so I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to find my number 6 is here, and I'm going to go all the way up to the number 2. So I'm going to put a point here. Okay, so that's my first point. My second one is 9, 5. So back to 0, all the way to 9. 9 is going to be here in between 8 and 10. And then is 5, so we're going to go all the way up to the number 5, which is going to be a 1 after the 4. So I have this point over here. Then we had 12, 2. Okay, so back to 0, 12, all the way to the 12, and number 2 is going to be over here. And 12, negative 4. Oh, okay, so now we're going 0, 12, and negative 4. We got to go down to negative 4. I'm going to put here. And the last one is 6, negative 4. So back to 0, 6, and then negative 4. So it's going to be over here. Okay, so now I'm going to connect the points. Connect the points so I can see what shape do I make. So I'm going to connect this. It's supposed to be a straight line. And then from here to here is supposed to be another straight line. So when you do it on paper, please use a ruler. Follow the line. Okay, and then from here to here is going to be like a point there and a point there. And I already see that this top is a triangle. So I can go ahead and cut it right now. And I'm following the line. So I have a triangle here, and at the bottom I have a rectangle. So in order for me to find the area, I will have to find the area of this rectangle and put a number 1 here, in the area of this triangle, so I'm going to put a number 2. So let's start with the rectangle because it's easier. So the area number 1, which is my rectangle, is equal to length times width. So now I need my numbers. Area of number 1 is equal to length. Let's count from here to here. How many boxes? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 units times the width is going up. So from here to here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, also 6. So 6 times 6. So let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So the area of the first rectangle is equal to 36 unit square. So I'm going to put unit square. Okay, good. Now let's do area number 2. So area number 2 is a triangle. So my formula is going to be base times height divided by 2. Okay, so let's find the base. The base is going to be from here to here, which is the same thing as the bottom, and we decided that was 6 because we already counted. So the area of number 2 is going to be 6 times the height. The height is going to be from the top to the bottom. So you see, from top to bottom we have 1, 2, 3 units. So 6 times 3 and then divided by 2. Okay, so area of number 2 is equal to 6 times 3 is 18, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. So this gives you 9 units square. Okay, so now they want the total area. So in order to find the total area, I'll have to add my first area, which is 36. I'm going to write it here. 36 plus my second area, which is 9. And 36 plus 9 gives you 45. So the area of this polygon is 45 units square. Okay, next page. Okay, so now this is your practice. So we're just gonna go over. I'm going to set up the areas for you, but you're gonna have to finish it up. Okay, and remember there's more than one way to do this, but we're going to look at this one over here. And here I can see that I can break it into here a little rectangle right here. That's gonna be 5 times 4. And here maybe I can do one going all the way up here, and that's going to be 3 by 15. So I'm assuming that's 15, so I'm going to put a 15 here. And then here is going to be 26 minus this 3 that we cut here. So this is going to be 23 now, because I cut this 3 from it. And then this part over here will be 15 minus this 5, so this will be 10. Because remember, from here to here is 5, so 5 plus 10 is 15. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's do area number 1. Is going to be a rectangle, and the rectangle will be 23 by 10. So 23 by 10. Area of number 2, remember you're going to finish this. Area of number 2 is going to be this one, which is 5 times 4. 5 times 4. And then area of number 3, don't forget to leave space so you can finish it up, will be this one, which is 15 times 3. So once you multiply this 3, you find the areas of this, you add them together. Okay, so don't forget to add to finish it up. All right, let's look at number 7. So number 7, I can cut it over here. I can cut it. So I'm gonna have a big rectangle at the bottom, and the big rectangle, I'm gonna put a 1 here, and I'm gonna put a 2. This will be a 2. So the big rectangle, area of 1, is going to be the length, this one over here. So let's see, that will be, this is 2, this is 16, and this is 2. So 2 plus 16 plus 2, that's 20 times 10. So this is 10. So once again, how do I get 20? So remember, this is 2, this little piece is 2, this little piece is 16, and this little piece is 2. If you add them together, 2 plus 16 is 18, and 18 plus 2 is 20. That's where the 20 comes from. Now area of the second rectangle will be, we already know that is 16, times down here is 2, so 16 times 2. So once you get those two areas, add them up, and that will give you a total area. So we're going to set up number 8. So number 8, they just want, see over here, the shaded region. So here we only want the green part. So every time they want shaded and you have something that is not shaded, you're going to subtract that. So here we have a big rectangle outside and 2 little squares inside. So you're going to find the big rectangle outside, the area of the big rectangle, the area of the little squares, and you're going to subtract those little squares from the big area. So we're going to have 1, 2, and 3. 3 things that we're doing. So area number 1 is going to be a rectangle, length times width, so that's 8 by 4, 8 by 4. That's going to give you an answer. Area number 2 is going to be this little square. That little square is 2 by 2, so 2 times 2. And area number 3 is going to be another 2 by 2. Okay, so 2 by 2. So remember, find the area of the big rectangle, which is this one, number 1. Then find the area of number 2 and number 3. Then you're going to add number 2 and number 3 and subtract it from the big area. Okay, and that will give you the green part. So make sure you finish it up. Okay, so the last one we're going to do today is going to be number 9. So for number 9, you see this figure, you see inside you have like a, it looks like a rectangle. It's actually a square because you see this is 8. They're telling you that this is 8 and this is also 8. So this is actually a square. So you have a square here. So you're going to find the area. I'm going to put a number 1 here. And then on the sides you have triangles, okay? So the triangles, they're all the same. You see the height is 3 and the base is going to be this 8, which is the side of the square. So we're going to find the area of number 1, which is going to be 8 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. So I'm going to finish this one for you. 8 times 8 is 64. So I have the big one here. Then one triangle will be base times height divided by 2. So I'm going to put area of T. T means triangle. So it's going to be base is 8 times height is 3 and then divided by 2. So the area of the triangle is equal to 8 times 3 is 24. 24 divided by 2 is 12. So one triangle is 12. And then you have another one that is also 12, another one 12, and another one 12. So now you have 4 triangles, each one is 12. So the total area for the triangles will be 12 times 4, and 12 times 4 is 48. So now you have the big rectangle, which is 64, plus 48, because 48 is all of the triangles together. That's going to give you the total area to be 112. So now we put the units, 112 centimeters square. Okay, so you finish this. Remember, to find the area, you need to make sure that you, if this is a polygon and you're decomposing, make sure that you are breaking it into the least number of shapes, trying to make it into triangles or rectangles. Make sure that you find any missing length that you're having. And if you have a coordinate plane, don't forget to count the boxes to find the numbers. Okay, always count the boxes. So here, when you look at number 11, just because I'm looking at it, you can make it into 2 triangles. So you have one triangle on the top, one triangle on the bottom, and the height is this distance from top to bottom, All right, I hope this video is helpful. Have a good day.